I've been kind of splitting it like that. This lesson that I'm going to learn, and this is the reason why this person was in my life, right? I'm 100% locked in with learning the lesson. Maybe I'm having another thought about letting go. All right. I think I never heard anybody talk about that, so why not address it right now? So if you want to let go of a person, think about it like that. Whoever that person was there in your life, I guess also to teach you some sort of lesson, right? Usually, if there is somebody out there who is really impactful in our life in the sense of that we feel like we really can't let go of that person, we had to learn a certain lesson. There's a reason we are drawn to somebody. There's a reason we're holding on to something, even if it does no longer serve us. So obviously, that was not someone we didn't care about in that sense, right? I do feel like if I haven't learned the lesson completely, the person is always going to come back into my life. And if it's not in physical form, somebody else will come back with the same lesson. It will repeat itself until I've learned it. But I'm only now thinking about this one person, say, I want to let go of, or I just don't want to be thinking about so often. How much of the lesson that that person taught you have you already learned? I come to realize, I think I had the thought in my mind now for maybe a year, but it's just been getting a lot clearer lately. So it's been a longer process of just having this little thing on my mind where I was basically very off track in these things. I figured them out, okay? Let's say he or she figures some things out, but I'm like, but where is this actually leading? Because I'm not even forcing anything. I'm just letting the universe decide what happens next, right? And I still sometimes struggle to not be overthinking and letting go of that person, right? But then I'm like, wow, am I fully free? Have I learned every single lesson that person could teach me? And the true answer is no, I have not. I just have a deep knowing that I have not. And therefore it's I can mentally let go of that person, but I do know that I still have to learn more because it is just that triggering. And I'm I don't want no other person also to kind of repeat the same lesson to me. I'm okay with holding on to the little pieces of the lesson that I still need to learn. That's just what I've been thinking. And I don't really know by any means if this is relatable, but what I truly want is learning that lesson, because I really, really don't want my life to ever go that way again, that it's gone for over a decade, right? So I'm so 100% with the idea of learning that lesson. I'm actually going towards that every single day. It's just that big of a deal that it takes some time, okay? And you gotta be patient with yourself because it doesn't just happen overnight. I've been kind of splitting it like that. I'm this lesson that I'm going to learn, and this is the reason why this person was in my life, right? I'm 100% locked in with learning the lesson, but I also know that it will still take some time. And therefore, I'm okay with if I have to have another conversation that goes wrong or something, I'm not going to be triggered. I probably needed that. So sometimes, that's what I realized when some people show up again. It's definitely, it's like a challenge if you have learned your lesson, because sometimes they're going to confront you with the same things again. And if you act the same way that you did in the past, then obviously you have not learned your lesson. But if you actually act different, that just shows that you have moved on. And then it also shows them that they can no longer treat you the way that they used to. And then it's obviously about them too, because if they have learned their lesson on the other side, they're going to be like, all right, I can no longer treat this person that way, so I'm going to treat them respectfully, better. And then you could actually, have a conversation. But if the other person has not changed at all, that's where it ends. Because you have changed and you're going to walk away. They have not. They cannot accept that you have changed. So that's where it ends. And I see that so clearly with every pattern in my life. It's like, because you obviously cannot accept anybody crossing your boundaries that you have finally established in your life. Like, dude, you would not dare to do that because you are actually headed in one direction and you're working so hard on yourself, and you cannot allow anybody to cross these boundaries. So as soon as they do, that's the end of the conversation, unless they decide to treat you better. The way, not better, the way that they always should have, right? So once you see that really clearly, and I'm not saying it's easy, sometimes, especially with a person of the past, you still have the memories of how it used to be. So it's even harder than with a new person that you never met before to act a certain way. But now that you have learned and grown out of your old ways, you can actually show up like that. And sometimes it proves more of a point if that happens with somebody who has been in your life before, because it's like you literally are no longer the person that you used to be. So I always believe in the best in people. Everybody can change, and I truly wish that I will have conversations with people of my past and realize that, wow, I have come a long way, and that person has also come a long way, and we're just both headed the right direction, no matter if we will talk again or, if we're just headed different paths. But I'm like, truly, I wish the best for everybody out there. It's just something you can really gain clarity over. That's why I wanted to kind of say that on video. I think it's pretty crazy, because at first I was so scared to talk to certain people again, because I felt like I'm repeating my mistakes. And then I realized, no, this is actually just a little test for myself, if I can act better. And if I can't, well, it's a reminder that I'm no longer that person, and I actually have to act like different. If you mess up at one conversation, you're going to feel that, and then you're going to actually not repeat the mistake again, I'm not saying that's a straight line, that's a process. Like, you sometimes kind of fall back into old habits, whatever, especially if it's someone you used to talk to. You might mess up. But as long as you realize you messed up, and you realize, like, oh, this very little thing, you let them overstep your boundaries, then you can fix that. That's just a thought I wanted to share, okay? Know that you're doing much better than you think. Well, take care. See you tomorrow.